Uncertainty, it's that feeling in the pit of your stomach, the space between a question and its answer, between a choice and what happens next. It's pretty fundamental to being human, right? But what if we could just get rid of it? In this explainer, we're going to dig into that exact question. What would we actually gain, and what might we lose forever?
Seriously? Just try to picture it for a second. A life with absolutely no wrong turns, no awkward first dates, no business ideas that flop, just a perfectly smooth, optimized existence. The perfect song always comes on next. The movie you didn't even know you wanted to see is already queued up. Every single decision, from the huge life-altering ones to the tiny little ones, is guided to the best possible outcome. It's a pretty tempting idea, isn't it? A life without any friction, without a single ounce of regret. So, how would we even get there?
Well, through AI, of course. These are systems designed to learn our patterns so incredibly well that they can predict what we need before we're even aware of it ourselves. They offer us this world of complete, seamless convenience, a life curated just for you.
And that right there is the million-dollar question. When we smooth out all the bumps in the road, do we also just flatten the entire landscape of our lives? In our big quest for a perfect, predictable world, what crucial parts of our own humanity might we be trading away without even realizing it?
Okay, so let's first dig into why this is all so appealing. Why are we so drawn to the idea of a life where algorithms are basically the architects of our day?
I mean, our daily lives are already packed with these little algorithmic comforts. Every single click, every scroll, it's all being logged and optimized to create this feeling that the world just gets us. And the result is a life that feels smooth, it feels efficient, and it feels deeply, deeply personal. It's convenience, but as a constant state of being. Not too long ago, everyone was talking about choice fatigue, that mental burnout you get from having way too many options. And AI was pitched as the perfect solution, a smart filter for our noisy world. But in solving that problem, we might have stumbled into a totally new one, something way more subtle and maybe way more profound.
Now, the idea that our lives are sort of predetermined, that's not new at all. It's a conversation that's been going on for ages. What's different today is who, or maybe what, is writing the script.
For centuries, people looked up to the heavens, to divine forces, to explain fate. Then the Enlightenment came along and shifted that power to the cold, hard, unchangeable laws of physics. But now, here in the 21st century, we've got a new player in the game: digital determinism. It's this idea that our paths are being shaped more and more by predictive code.
And this table here really lays it all out. You can see how in each era the force behind determinism changes. It goes from God's will to the laws of nature. And every time that happens, our whole idea of human agency, our freedom to choose, it changes too. It's like our free will has always been boxed in by some larger system. First it was a deity, then it was physics, and now it's the algorithm.
So, if we're trading in some of our freedom for a life of certainty, what's the real cost? This is where that utopian promise starts to look a little shaky, and we begin to see some of the deep psychological and even philosophical trade-offs.
So this is the core concept we're wrestling with. It's basically a feedback loop, right? Our past behavior is fed into a machine to predict our future behavior. And then, those predictions are used to serve us content that pushes us to behave exactly as predicted. Any room for spontaneity just starts to shrink.
And this is the great paradox in all of this. We think we're just getting more of what we already want, but the line between personalization and pure manipulation is getting blurrier by the day. The algorithm isn't just anticipating our choices anymore, it's actively scripting them. What feels like discovery is actually just automation.
And psychologists are already starting to flag the consequences. When AI does all the heavy lifting for us, our own cognitive muscles start to weaken. We're outsourcing our memory, our critical thinking, and maybe, most importantly, our ability to just sit with uncertainty, which is an absolutely crucial skill for resilience and for growth. This brings us to a really fundamental question about what happiness even is. You see, AI is brilliant at optimizing for hedonism, just delivering an endless stream of easy pleasure and helping us avoid pain. But it really struggles with what philosophers call eudaimonia, that deeper, more meaningful happiness that comes from overcoming challenges, from struggle. A frictionless life might be pleasant, sure, but is it actually fulfilling?
It all leads to this classic thought experiment. Let's say you could plug into a machine that gives you the perfect feeling of writing a great novel or winning a gold medal, but without any of the hard work. Would you do it? If your gut reaction is no, it's because deep down you value authentic, earned achievement. And that's exactly what's at stake here.
Okay, so let's talk about one of the biggest casualties in a world of perfect prediction: serendipity. You know, those happy accidents, the chance encounters that totally change the course of our lives. What happens when we systematically engineer those moments out of existence?
Surprise isn't just a nice little feeling. It's a neurological and social necessity. That jolt of the unexpected releases dopamine in our brains, which is the engine of learning. It sparks creativity. Unexpected encounters build our empathy by forcing us out of our bubbles. When we get rid of unpredictability, we risk making our world smaller and our minds a whole lot less flexible.
It seems like the problem isn't that we have too many choices anymore. It's that the most important ones, the challenging ones, the transformative ones, the truly serendipitous ones, are becoming invisible. They're being filtered out by an algorithm before they ever have a chance to reach us.
The philosopher Martin Heidegger warned us about this kind of thinking decades ago. He argued that when we start to see the world only through a lens of optimization, it loses its soul. It's no longer a place of wonder. It's just a resource to be managed efficiently. And you have to wonder if our own lives, perfectly curated by algorithms, risk becoming the same thing, just a collection of data points to be optimized, not a journey to be lived.
This all brings us to a final, fundamental choice we're all facing, probably without even realizing it. A choice between two very, very different ways of living.
And Heidegger left us with this really chilling warning. He said that a perfectly managed, universally happy world, one that's optimized for our comfort and stability, could also be a world that is spiritually bankrupt. A place where we have everything we could possibly want, but feel nothing at all.
And that really is the final thought. Predictability offers us safety, it offers comfort. But it's discovery, it's surprise, it's even failure. Those are the things that bring wonder. They're what make life feel textured, meaningful, and ultimately alive. So as we build this more certain future for ourselves, we have to ask, what are we really optimizing for? Is it comfort?